Hi guys, I'm Mike.
And I'm Stephen.
And this is F1 Fanatics. Welcome back to another F1 Fantasy Weekly, your place to get your kind of roundup of the fantasy game. Obviously, last week we reviewed the Russian GP in regards to fantasy points. We've had a week's break. We're back in the preview. It's the Nürburgring. It's the first time we've been to the Nürburgring for a while. And we're going to give our top picks as usual.
Yep.
Who we kind of think...
Will the team be a surprise? Stay tuned to find out who we recommend.
Surely not that dastardly
this
Mercedes.
Week will shock you. Anyway, on with your intro.
And if you... God, that's clickbaity if ever you want it. Stay tuned, because you don't know. It may be a lie or it may be true. Ooh, mystery. But yeah, anyway, F1 Fantasy is the game where you get 100 million budget to select 5 drivers, 1 team to score points over the course of the weekend and go against your friends and the world to see if you can come out on top. And obviously, if you are pretty damn good, then obviously you're competing for the prizes in F1. I think it's like top 3 the prizes are.
Yep.
And the top one is a paddock pass for what will obviously be the 2021 season, because this season, actually that's a bit gutting. Person who won it last year, that must I presume it goes over into 2021.
Yeah, they must come to some kind of agreement.
Yeah, it must be in there, because that would have been unfortunate. Anyway, as usual with F1 Fantasy, we've started off with a waffle. So hang around for the top picks on teams, constructors, drivers. Teams and sort of there. Our teams, rate your team. And, of course, the Kimi Moment of the week. So hang around for all of that. So we'll get straight into top picks.
That's a shocking top pick. Top constructor. We'll start with top constructor. It's the most shocking pick so far this season. And it's got to be Mercedes.
In their home Grand Prix. Because it went so well last time they were in Germany this year.
It is raining, so you never know. Carnage.
Ooh.
But come on now.
And we all know last time there was a bit of rain in the European GP at the Nürburgring. Chaos! Winkelhock, I think, led the Grand Prix for a while. Lewis Hamilton, there were about 6 cars that went off in the gravel at turn 1.
Yes. Lewis restarted, didn't he?
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton was lifted out of the gravel and restarted because obviously his car was in a dangerous position. So within the rules, if his car was in a dangerous position, he could get it started to get going again. He was then allowed to participate in the race. Crazy. Yep. Mental race. Definitely look it up. Look at Josh Rebel's video, actually. He does a fun silent movie of that, and you can just watch the highlights anyway. Definitely recommend that. Yeah, Mercedes, that's a top team because, heck, if you've got them in your team, you're most likely going to end up coming out on top.
Yes. Yep. Although, who else has been good in the rain this year? We haven't had a rain race. What am I thinking? Who's been good in the rain this year? There hasn't been a wet race. They probably, even though the forecast says it's raining all weekend, it probably won't rain from the race. So I don't know why I'm trying to spice things up here. Just
because we've got to build excitement, because everyone knows it's coming.
Yep, Netflix won't be with them, so pick Mercedes.
Exactly. The Netflix curse has already been at the Russian Grand Prix, wasn't it? So that's okay. But yes, anyway, on to drivers, which might be a little bit more interesting. First one we've got to go straight in for is Daniel Ricciardo.
Well, top picks, Lewis or Bottas?
Well, top pick's got to be Daniel Ricciardo on the race streak.
Okay, I was thinking of the top pricey picks.
Okay.
We normally cover them first.
Well, Lewis Hamilton.
Not Bottas?
Valtteri Bottas.
Looking to spark life.
We're not going to bring up the Mega Driver thing again. We're not going to do it. We're not going to bring up, let's be honest, unless Lewis Hamilton manages to I don't know, crash Albon out again and get a penalty or something. I can't see.
I reckon Bottas wins.
Okay, there you go. Stephen reckons Bottas might be a good selection. And fastest lap. Not that. Oh, no, I suppose it is kind of relevant, Bottas isn't it? You get 5 fantasy points for it, don't you?
Well, okay. I know we don't actually look at what the F1 season's doing, but Bottas, this is his title fight here and now. Will he show up? I know we always consistently say, well, he must show up for this race, and then he doesn't show up. But I think he will show up, and good chance for him winning.
Okay, I don't. Lewis Hamilton. that would be mine. Max.
No. It's just.
Is Max on a race streak though?
No, because Mugello, he crashed out.
Yeah, that happened. Of course he wouldn't be on a race streak. He had 2 DNFs in a row, didn't he? Oh boy, no. Is basically that answer.
I say Bottas, you say Lewis.
And then we both say Ricciardo.
Yeah, Ricciardo on the double streak, mega turbo driver. He's a turbo driver, but it's going to be a mega turbo driver.
Yes.
But don't mega.
No, definitely turbo drive Daniel Ricciardo this weekend.
Yes.
I think it's going to be a great choice for him. Outside of that, who knows? It's the midfield of Formula One, which is exciting, and we do like that. And for fantasy players, it's horrendous. Sure. I think what you've basically got to do is look at the streaks, although that wouldn't have necessarily done you any good stead with Carlos Sainz last week.
Nope.
But it is always safe to kind of gamble on the streaks, I think.
Yep.
And the rest of it, where will McLaren be? Nürburgring, we don't really have...
We've got nothing to go on in the hybrid era.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why are we saying pick Mercedes so confidently?
Yeah.
Because their car's about a second quicker than everyone. But yeah, the midfield...
Stroll?
Racing Point looked good last race again. I know Stroll crashed out, but Checo was a confident P4.
Well, Lance didn't crash out.
Lance got crashed out. Sorry.
He was obliterated by Charles Leclerc.
Incredibly dangerous.
I'm still bitter about it. I'm still bitter.
We both went for Stroll if you missed, and then Checo coming on. But I think Stroll's a great bit because he's still got that upgrade.
God damn it, Charles!
But maybe double Racing Point. Maybe the return of double Racing Point.
Wow. When we come in to rate your team, there is a double Racing Point in there.
Well, when we come to our teams, there may also be a double Racing Point in there. Stay tuned.
Oh my God. God, there are just so many things to hang around for this week. Jeez.
Rate your team will shock you.
Will it?
I don't know.
Okay, but you might be shocked. I don't know.
If they're still here, then the first one worked. So I'm laying down another one.
By this point, everyone's like, it's one of those days. Let's just skip forward to the bits we need and check out of here. Norris is always a good... I think Norris is a consistent performer.
So his price is quite high now at 13 million.
Well, maybe it's the time to check out if you haven't already.
Yeah, I think he's a bit pricey.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's a bit... If you've made money and you're playing around with a lot of cash, then maybe. But I think he's a bit too expensive.
Okay.
I reckon there's quite a few guys around that 10 million, 9 million, like the Racing Point guys, Pierre Gasly, that you're probably better suited to. Esteban Ocon, if you want a Renault driver. No, okay. Fine. But yeah, Kvyat, he's in great form. Did well in Germany last year, I heard.
He's in great form. He's had one good race. Pierre Gasly's won a race.
He's on 3 streak. So if you get him in this week, he may be on a race streak for next week.
Positive. That's good thinking. Look at that mass influx to Kvyat. Yeah, maybe. I still think Pierre Gasly's another strong pick, and if Kevin Magnussen finishes the race, he's a strong pick.
Is the gamble worth it?
Probably not. Go for Grosjean. If you're going on cheap. If you've got a little bit more expensive money in the bag, then obviously you want to be going around the midfield teams of Racing Point, McLaren and Renault, and just spreading your chips across those three because you're going to score pretty well. And if you are slightly below that, then a Pierre Gasly is a good supplement to that as well.
Yeah.
I think that probably good for the top picks.
Sums it all up. Yeah, we've done teams, done picks.
I suppose do we go for the ones to avoid? Well, turbo picks as well.
Yes, ones to avoid. Sorry, I'm skipping ahead.
We kind of did do turbo picks though. We'll get that one out of the way.
Turbo pick Ricciardo.
Yep. Okay, that's that done.
If you haven't got Ricciardo, you bring in Ricciardo and you turbo him. Turbo done.
If you do not turbo Ricciardo this weekend, on your head be it.
Yes. Ones to avoid.
Ferrari. Vettel, Leclerc.
Yep.
Albon.
Yep.
Giovinazzi, too inconsistent.
Yep.
Did well last weekend, 2 weeks ago, but too inconsistent. Ocon, no.
I wouldn't touch Williams either.
Sainz, no.
Williams' pace looked awful in Russia. I know it's completely different tracks.
No, they have really comfortably fallen behind.
Yeah.
Like they have a Mercedes engine and they're still finishing behind a Ferrari power unit. You got to say that's not a great car.
Yeah. It's an awful car. So yeah, I'd avoid even Georgie on the cheapest.
Well, George you definitely want to avoid because your big points you get in fantasy is in the race, especially when you get those overtake points. And George Russell is putting in hella qualifying performances and then dropping to the back in the race. So therefore, he's even worse because any points you may gain on that Saturday, it's not great for getting into Q2 and you get a little bit of teammate bonus points on there, but then you're losing it all. And Latifi's, I think, consistently finishing ahead of him in fantasy points because Latifi makes up a couple of places, but Russell loses so many.
Exactly.
So that's that. Avoid Williams and, in particular, George Russell. Shame that.
There we go.
Yeah, our teams.
That is the roundup of everyone. Our teams. I've gone for. I think I've got a very similar team. I'm going for Lewis at the moment.
Oh.
But it's just because I may...
Oh.
Okay, I got two variations.
Ooh.
I got Bottas, Ricciardo, Stroll, Gasly, Grosjean.
Cool.
Mercedes. I don't know what to do with the fingers. Or Lewis, Ricciardo, Stroll, Checo, Grosjean.
You were just doing Matthew McConaughey. Go Cowboys!
Jesus. So yeah, those are my two variations. I can guess yours. You're just going Lewis, Ricciardo, Gasly,
Stroll,
Grosjean, Mercedes.
Correct. I don't know if I'm going to change from that.
It's pretty solid.
It is pretty solid. I don't know whether Norris is too expensive now. Is he worth that price increase? Gasly tends to be a consistently strong performer. Stroll, with the upgrades, I am backing to perform better. And if it is going to rain, Stroll is a good wet weather driver.
Yep. So
that has to come into play. And Grosjean finds ways that mystify me to finish races this season. So he at least won't get you minus points.
Bam.
Because we haven't played the market. We always try to do the best ones for not playing the market.
Yes.
But yeah, no, that is my team.
Let's rate someone's team.
Let's do it. So it's time for Rate Your Team. This week, one entry again. We have Mr. JM. Oh God, I've forgotten. I'm pretty JM93. I've forgotten the username. Doesn't matter. It's Yannick.
I was like, oh my God.
Last year's winner of the F1 Fanatics League. So always nice to give Yanni a shout out when he wanted us to rate his team. I've already rated it in my head. I didn't need to think about that. Going.
It's a good strong team.
It's an incredibly strong team.
I did say it will shock you.
Okay, so he's got Mercedes.
Bam.
Lewis Hamilton.
Bam.
Ricciardo,
Bam.
Norris,
Bam.
Perez,
Bam.
Stroll.
Bam. It's a 5. Kimmy's out of 5.
5 Kimmy's out of 5. There you go. Rate your team. That's out of the way.
Get out of here.
What a great team.
That's what happens when you play the Marcus. You have an incredible team like that.
Absolutely. So if there is ever, you had it with Rocks,
Yep.
and I think Yanni's has gone up another level on that.
Yep.
With a 5 out of 5. It literally, because that midfield is so close, you're having 2 racing points of Renault and a McLaren. They're kind of the top guns underneath the Red Bulls. Got Lewis Hamilton, who's going to consistently be the highest scorer, and Mercedes. What more could you want from a team?
Nice.
Brilliant. If you can get that team, great, good on you. Because you'll probably do quite well.
Yeah, probably.
Probably.
Until all of them DNF.
Grosjean wins!
First lap instant takes all 5 out.
Roman! No, I don't want that.
Okay, sorry. There we go.
We can't have that. I mean,
We
it
can't
is
have that.
technically, though, the Eifel Grand Prix.
Is that what the hashtag is? Eifel GP?
I think there's something to do with track.
Why can't they call it
it's
the
called
German?
the Eiffel one. But I
It's not like we've had...
I was pulling out the
Okay.
Eiffel. It's probably is going to be called the German GP, but it might not be because they like calling things weird names.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking Eiffel Tower. Grosjean's French. The stars are aligned. Roman Grosjean wins the race.
Okay, sorry.
That's where
That
I
the
was
train of
going with
thought.
this. But because we got so drawn up on Eiffel, by the time I've made that point that Grosjean
It's lost a bit.
is French,
Yeah.
everyone's switched off by that
I'm
point.
sorry.
You ruined it.
I was just outraged that a hashtag would be Eiffel GP.
Right. You know what? We'll go to it. It's time to round this off. With the only way here at F1 Fanatics we know how to round off an F1 Fantasy Weekly, and that is a Kimi Moment of the Week. And it's a time to celebrate and enjoy the build-up of the moment that this weekend, when he starts the Eifel GP, German GP, whatever it's called, we don't care because Kimi Räikkönen will have the most race starts out of any Formula One driver in the history of the sport. Incredible.
Bam.
Incredible. What? Kimi, congratulations.
That's a 5 Kimmy's out of 5.
That is a 5 Kimmy's out of 5. Unbelievable. Like,
Wait,
what
how
an
many
achievement.
race starts? How many race starts has he had? Put you on
Good
the spot
question.
now.
327, I believe this will be.
Woo!
It
It's actually-
may be less than that. It could be 318.
318 or 327? Those are your 2 guesses.
Yes.
There's nothing in the middle.
Nope.
I just thought you were going to go
He
326.
is surpassed
325.
300. He is currently level with Rubens Barrichello. So
He was around for a bit.
it was a test because we're going. Let us know in the comments down below on how many race starts it will be for Kimi Räikkönen.
The perfect Kimi
Because we
reaction.
want to engage the audience.
Exactly. There we go.
I actually do know, but I can't give the answer away because if I did, then it wouldn't make the quiz fun because they knew the answer.
Okay.
There you go. Honestly.
So I was going to say the perfect reaction for Kimi would just be, don't care.
I mean, that will be literally Kimi's reaction.
Yeah.
I don't care. Crofty was trying to build it up
Yeah.
last time out, which is fair enough. I think it is incredible. I mean, we're going to use experience because that's a nice way for saying old. He's one of the few drivers on the grid who have driven at the Nürburgring
Yep.
while it's been on F1 calendar. And when we go to Imola, he's going to be the only driver on the grid who has raced there.
Yep.
That's
Okay.
incredible. That's incredibly experienced.
There we go. Kimi to win at the Nürburgring and Imola.
Unbelievable. Well done, Kimi. Congratulations on winning those races. I mean, stranger things have happened. Could you imagine? Look, if we
Pierre
predicted
Gasly won
this,
at Monza.
put money on it, guys. Put a pound on it. I'm sure the odds will be
Put
fun.
£5,000 on it and you should be good.
£5,000 on it. Sorry. What are you on about?
Sorry, 10 grand. Your life savings on it.
This isn't Leicester winning the league where the guy got £1 and what did he cash out about $5,000, didn't he? It was like 5,000 to 1, those odds.
Damn.
But oh yeah, crazy. Anyway, we're deterring and I don't even know
we
the
take
words.
no responsibility for any life savings lost.
Yeah.
Better
That's an important one. We hold no liability to your actions. Bet responsibility. Bet your responsibility on that one. Bet responsibly.
Yes, there we
right.
go. Bam.
That's it from us today. Another F1 Fancy Weekly. We hope you've enjoyed it. It's been entertaining as always because we are incredibly funny.
Incredibly so.
Incredibly so. But yeah, comment down below with how incredibly funny we are or not, if you may think of that. Let us know who you're going for this weekend in terms of your teams, your top picks. Are you looking forward to the race? Good luck to everyone and their teams. Remember, if you want your team to be included and rate your team, you can leave it in the comments below, and I will remember eventually to rate it at some point during it, because I think this was from a F1 Fancy 2 weeks ago. I miss Yanni's comment for this team, but he might still have the same team.
Ouch.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. But anyway, if you're new around here, haven't done so already.
Wait, if it was 2 weeks ago and it was for Sochi, can we give it a 0 out of 5? It's a pretty bad team.
This guy.
It was a pretty bad team for Sochi.
This guy wants to be a dick.
All in hindsight.
Right, yeah, brilliant. Well, hindsight, we can't do that. Brilliant. If you're new around here, haven't done so already, say your bloody line.
You can like, subscribe and ding that bell.
Ding it! We're off. We're done. He's off. I'm off. But UF1 fans, keep racing!